This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you tuned into every Saturday we can be here. We got to say it like that because some Saturdays we won't, but the spirit of what we're trying to do makes sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the USA, and the USA with the plight of veterans is all we do. We're trying to make right wrong, wrong right, in the eyes of the people that are confused in this country right now about veterans benefits and the value of military service. I'm here again today as your host, Elsa McGee, and with my brother in Christ and my partner in crime.
yeah.
Tony McMary, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good.
Listen, man, it's raining outside.
Yes.
I was on the highway trying to get here from Macon, which we had a meeting in Macon today because we had elections. But the only contested position was president because Spence Davis stepped aside, but he stepped down a notch. We might say up a notch because he didn't run for president, but he was elected treasurer.
Okay.
But you know, Spence has been president for 12 years in Georgia State Council.
Yeah.
And I reminded them today that I had been a member of Georgia State Council since 1986. I don't think nobody in the room could even go back that far. And, you know, I made my report today just focusing pretty much on the PAC Act, Tony. You know, the extension of the PAC Act is something that should be talked about, discussed in every veteran's household, whether they are actually Vietnam era veterans or not, because what the PAC Act has done, it has extended the Agent Orange exposure principle from Vietnam to 129 more locations, 12 states. One of them is our state, great state of Georgia, that Fort Gordon, Georgia, where we know we had people served that didn't go to Vietnam. So it's a critical piece of legislation that's really being overlooked right now by the community, you know, and the impact that it could really have on the community of Vietnam era veterans like yourself, you know, who is a surviving prostate cancer victim.
Right.
Prostate cancer is one of those ailments on that PAC list.
Yep.
And it identifies some of the bases, Tony, that you might have been at. Think about it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to I was just trying to remind the state, you know, all of the chapters that was there, which all 17 chapters was there.
Good.
Represented. And that they need to talk to their membership, you know, and talk to their membership about the PAC Act and what it means to veterans that didn't serve in Vietnam. You know, a lot of people forget that when you're in the U.S. military, wherever a combat theater is, all the people in the military support that.
Yes.
They can be sent there or not, you know, but if everybody was sent there, they wouldn't have no support.
Exactly.
So I you know, as a claim expert, Tony, I have always, let me say that again. I say I'm a claim expert.
And you are.
You know, but a lot of time when I talk with people about, you know, in our era, and you getting your benefits, yeah, I said, but I didn't go into overseas. It doesn't matter if you didn't go overseas, if you was exposed, and the blessing right now is that this opens up the can of worms, so to speak, for veterans that have contracted counsel at one of these bases and never file a claim. They can file a claim now, or have filed a claim and it was being denied because of the location was not recognized by Congress and the VA, but they still had the same issues.
Yeah.
Cancer, diabetes, you know, and in a lot of cases, some mental adjustments disorders. You know, so we were trying to just make sure that the community know that these veterans, some of them might have been gone on because of the exposure issue itself. Well, if they got a surviving spouse, they can file that claim and still get benefits, Tony.
Yeah.
They can file that claim and still get benefits. So this is why we are so excited in Atlanta about the PAC Act, because we know how it reaches finally and gives justice to more. I'm saying more, not all yet, because some of the bases was not recognized. Now, why, I don't know. We need to have that discussion with our elected officials. You know, we need to understand why some locations that we know, based on the data that's available, that Agent Orange was either tested, stored, or transported through these bases, and they had to be handled by military personnel. And we want to make sure that every veteran and every veteran family who was exposed and lost their loved ones or got sick because of this exposure are getting the benefits that they deserve. Because one of the biggest costs of household right now is health care.
Yeah.
One of the biggest, you know, and I know people, Tony, that get sick right now because they ain't got insurance, they can't go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So these benefits that have been earned by veterans, they were meant for the veteran, their family, and the community. And when they are not getting it, the veteran, the family, and the community suffer that lack.
To quote you, they've all been shortchanged.
We've been shortchanged.
Yes.
And you know, I'm gonna be getting back with you to file a claim, because see, you're a leader in the community. You're a leader in this movement, and we got to lead sometime by example.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, because see that whether you realize or not, even though the cancer is in remission, and we thank God for that. Yeah. But there are residues of the cancer that still go get you a percentage of disability. You know, and I be trying to tell people that all the time. Now, what has happened, recently we met a young man named Dwayne Ross with an app, Vet Portal. This is an amazing app. You know, I shared it with all the other chapters today, because it provides information that every family needs. See, if you go into the app, you'll see it has a content, you know, index where it points out everything, benefits, you know, doctors stuff, medicals, how the process works, you know, and where to get help when you need it within that process. So we want to make sure that everybody and their brother get a vet portal, and it's free. It's absolutely free. All you gotta do is go to your Play Store or your iPhone, whatever, and download it into your smartphone, and you can get it right there. That's information that definitely is critical now that the PAC Act has been expanded. You know, because it provides a roadmap to getting these benefits. It can help us. You know, some of us are gonna still be shortchanged, Tony. Yeah. But it you know, you won't lose as much. You won't walk out the store with it all. Sometimes, you know, if you're in a store, Tony, and the clerk shortchange you, you ain't going out that store till you get your money right.
Get my money right or get my product.
Yeah, get my product.
Yes.
That's the way we got to look at these benefits. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any problem with saying it, because I was wounded in combat in 1968, and they took me to 1984 to be established and recognized for that injury. That long time.
20 years.
Yeah, because I didn't know no better. Yeah. And the people that was in my community didn't know. So we wasn't getting the information, so we didn't get the benefits. That impacted my children, because they didn't get the father that they deserved, or the benefits that they deserved, because I was injured and suffering from a disability that I incurred during my military service. Yeah. We got to make sure that people can talk about this stuff, that can start relating to it, because every family, I don't know. I mean, go back to when we were going. Every family supported us going into the military.
Oh yeah.
I remember Lewis, one of my best friends that we are honoring with the memorial. His family again, him are going to Vietnam party. My family again, so we go to each other's going away party. And every family was doing that because they wanted their loved ones to know what was really going on. You know, you can come on up here. They really want their loved ones to know what was really happening, right? And that they supported them. And that's the way families do when you come back from the military with issues that impact your performance as a responsible member of that family. The family gather behind you.
Oh yeah.
And we can see it in Atlanta. Some of those issues have wore families out. We got homeless veterans all over the place, and that to me, we got homeless people in my hometown. And I take an offense to that because we got too much for that to be happening. You know, we're a town of Martin Luther King Jr. Yes. You know, Jose Williams, Reverend Larry. I don't listen. I can just go on and on because I didn't come here from him. So listen, Tony, we're gonna stop for a minute. I'm gonna stop preaching. I was just trying to relate to what I was inspired to understand and see and making today, because for the first time over 20 years I've been going to Macon. They want to know what was my political affiliation. You know, I didn't tell them that because they know that mine is, you know, I'm a child of God. So,
okay.
You know, so they gonna have to deal with that, you know. But anyway, it went well. Now I want to introduce Bridget, right?
Yes.
Bridget, this is welcome to Veterans Talk. We just do what we do here. We are veterans talking to veterans and the community about all things veterans and the community, because we have to have a voice in this VA thing, right?
Right.
The VA is the 8th largest part of the federal budget. This year, over $300 billion.
Whoa.
$300 billion. And we've been shortchanged, Tony. You know, we've been shortchanged because if we weren't being shortchanged, you would not have not only no homeless veterans, you would have no homeless people.
Yes.
Period. And I mean, I'm a front to this because I was at the Folk Mac last week with veterans helping veterans and coming up, and you know, they're one of our community partners. They was at Folk Mac Pearson, and they dealing with the homeless, making them feel like they're part of something. Okay. And I was getting back on the post right now. I was discharged from Folk Mac Pearson. I got lost. Tyler Perry don't own all that stuff. Right. I was right there, all them barracks still empty. I mean, they got enough barracks right now. And I stayed in one of them when I got back from Vietnam because that was 27 car coming. All them barracks are empty. All of them got bunks in them. All of them got bathrooms. All of them got kitchens. Yeah. Why do we have people sleeping? Okay. Bridget.
They're not sleeping in those.
They're not sleeping in those.
No.
Than they should be.
Well, I used to work at Fort McPherson back in 1981. Right, 1981 and 1985. Yeah. I tried to go into the military. Yeah. My brother was an Army veteran, and he enlisted in '76. And I was like, okay, then I want to go into the military. Well, my brother said, you ain't going nowhere. He was over there in the Panama when they had that little war over there. And so I think that's why he was like, no. But I served, I worked at Fort McPherson for 4 years. And so he was a veteran, and so that was my brother. So I'm a sibling of a veteran. Also, my nieces, she's in the Air Force, and my daughter used to be a National Guard. In National Guards.
And see, let me say something. We, in our community, this community, we got so many veterans. Let me salute my grandson right now and all them young folks that's serving today. We got so many. The high school is just graduating, right? We need to take note of how many of these young people coming from our communities, going into the military, serving this country right now. and we are being divided. That pledge of allegiance don't mean nothing to some of these politicians,
Right.
You know, and we got to get a better handle on our vote. Really. Because see, now I'm gonna say this: when I went in the military in 1967, so I'm old,
Okay.
1967, I was not old enough to vote.
Right.
The voting age at that time was 21. I was 20. I turned 21 in a foxhole in Vietnam. So I didn't have no say-so in nothing that was taking place right then. And I'm going to tell you something else there. Neither did my community, because there was not one person on Atlanta City Council that looked like me, or on Fulton County Commission that looked like you, Tony.
Yeah,
you know,
like none of us.
But look at it now.
Yes.
I mean, even though we got some corruption there, but that's what Malcolm was telling us. We had to be careful about that. You know, Malcolm had a problem with integration because he thought it was going to be a process of assimilation, and it did. You can listen to them trunk ass going on right now. You know? We're something been assimilated, man. We don't know no better.
Right.
But you know, we got to be thankful. You know, we got to be thankful for our community. This is, you know what? I think Atlanta's the greatest city on planet Earth. I mean, you know, naturally I'm a greater baby, so I would say
Me
that.
too.
You know, so I don't hope nobody think I'm bragging either. You know, but what happened, Tony, in our era, East Point, College Park, Forest Park, Hatesville, all of them was considered Atlanta. So these 240 young men that paid the ultimate price for what we got today in the Atlanta City Council, Fulton County Commission, came from this community. They paid the ultimate price in a war where I was wounded. So I can never forget it. I can never forget what they meant and what they believed, you know, every day. I mean, even in Vietnam, we pledged allegiance to the flag after we prayed. You know, and we believe that this country could be what it's going to be now. And then we got somebody that want to stop it.
Yes.
We cannot be turned around.
We will not.
We will not be turned around.
No.
See, and we got to understand that. So we are networking with the community. And some things happening to me, Tony, that made me think about what you always say, it's anointed. I'm preaching tomorrow on Pentecostal days. Why you want me to do that on Pentecostal? Then when I got to Macon, I understood that the word need to be heard again.
Yes.
We need to know exactly where we at, because the Antichrist is all over this place.
It is.
All over this place. And we need to understand that, because the pulpit is under attack. It's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
We got to get right. I wish Greg Fan was here, but Greg gonna be on the show soon. I know he probably watch it, but that's my pastor. You know, Greg Fan, the preacher man. He's from Washington too. He went to Washington. So listen, I love Atlanta. I love all the people from Atlanta. I'm not saying we're the best, but we're the best leaders that we can get in this fight right now. We got a history of standing up. You know, we got a history of standing up for right. And it shows in what we are doing and in the attacks that we got on our government right now. You know, the attacks that we got on our government is a direct attack on the progress that we made. Tony, you can say something.
Yeah, you know, when you when you said it's shown, look at the accomplishments that the city of Atlanta and Georgia have made toward race relations. You know, on the national level, it's strained, but locally in Georgia and in the city of Atlanta, we have a working situation that is benefiting our race. Which, like you said, when we went to Vietnam, it wasn't for our benefit. We were an afterthought. We were there because they could not just make us disappear.
And they could not fulfill the quota that's required.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You got to remember this now. America took a licking in World War II. it was soft in Korea, right? So they needed to rebuild the military. When Truman issued the desegregation order, he wasn't just doing it for black people, he was doing it to rebuild the military.
Yes.
And look at what he rebuilt.
Yeah.
The best on planet Earth today. Because it looks like all the people, and I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna go to listen. I believe I see this like, and this wasn't happening when we come up, Tony, and you can see it in Georgia State, you can see it in Mercer, you can see it in Emory. We got a village from every nation on the planet in the United States. I'm so naive. I just believe that this is the great melting pot. This is where all of God's children are gonna come together.
Yes, sir.
And the word said, "What a time we're gonna have."
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, what a time.
What a time.
What a time when all of God's children come together. So that's why I'm preaching tomorrow. Bridget, please introduce yourself, baby, and tell us why you're here, because you're here on a great cause that just matches up with where we're at right now.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, my name is Bridget Smith, and they call me Dancing Shoes. First, I'm a servant of God, and second, I'm a praise dancer. So I have a nonprofit organization called the Heart of Dancing Shoes, and the reason why I said the Heart of Dancing Shoes, because it's just what Dancing Shoes does. She loves to serve people. And I wanted to just do more than just help with the homeless and the senior. I wanted to do, something for veterans. So that's why I'm here today, to see what I can do for veterans. Because my heart goes out to veterans, because, like I said, my brother was a veteran. His daughter's a veteran, and just want to give back, even just in his honor, because that's what he did.
Now, you said someone was a veteran. What?
He's deceased.
Okay. See, Tony, we just talked about this. We're going to talk off the air about that, because the PAC Act is what I'm preaching now, and it's something that just happened, and it's being overshadowed in the community because ain't nobody talking about it. But they need to be talking about it. It is one of the greatest extension of veteran benefits in the history of VA. And what it does, it reaches those individuals that never went to Vietnam, right? That was in America and some other locations that contracted one of the ailments on the PAC Act list, like prostate cancer, diabetes, lung cancer, and died. Not even knowing, they knew they was handling the stuff because, well, that was their role, that was their job.
Right.
You're gonna do what you told to do, when you told to do it, how you told to do it. But their family lost them. And some of them at a very early age because of the exposures that they got at these military bases. But today, I want to say that some of the families can still get the benefits because of the expansion of the PAC Act. For the first time in the history of VA, they made hypertension a disability. Now black people should be running all over here because who got more hypertension than we have? But we got to get the word out. So, Bridget, we need you. We this is God sent. This is what you've been talking about, Tony. We're coming together. Our project is a call to unity, right? For our community, for veterans. And we're talking about all veterans, right?
Yes.
Because we're all God's people. We're all God's creation. And we have allowed the devil to come in and make us think something else.
Right.
So we got to be vigilant. We got to stick to that word, and we got to work that word in everything we do. So I'm so excited.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. See, and what our focus, and I was telling them today in Macon, our focus and my focus gonna be locally now. Locally. My homeboys and my community, making sure that they're not shortchanged anymore. Just making absolute sure that they are not shortchanged because of this division and misinformation that we're getting. And sometimes we're not getting any information.
Yep.
Right? Because, how many households up until Biden started extending broadband, we didn't even have internet.
Right.
You know, I mean, a large part of our community is without internet still.
Yes.
So we're not getting information, and then we got problems in our schools because the teachers are out of control and gangs are taking over our children. You ain't no gangs at White now.
No.
Or E.L. Carter, man. Come
Right.
on. You know, because my sister was to school with her children every day. Parents went to school. They was making sure that their children was involved in school, education, learning. I can remember the first time and the last time my mama had to come to White now. I was smoking, but I was teaching, you know.
I don't know.
So I was a part of the scene.
Yeah.
And Mr. Rice, you know, counsel at the time, Busters, he called my mama. I got a whooping every time every time she looked at me, I got a whooping. You don't go to school to be, you know. But we need to take our schools back from this lack of discipline that our children are being exposed to today, because we're losing them. In our hometown, Tony, listen, we got guns in the pockets of people that shouldn't even be near guns.
Yes.
Right.
Too young to have them.
And not just too young to have them. They ain't equipped mentally to have them. Mentally. Every day I wake up in Atlanta, man, there's 2 mothers crying. At least 2. Now it's 2 or 4 or 5. Because their child has been murdered and then their child is being sought by the police for murder.
Yeah.
We got to take back our community. And I believe that our memorial, we probably going to be in Park next Monday because they're going to let us set up our coming soon sign.
Okay.
Now that's going to be historic.
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, never in the history of Atlanta have they endorsed a war memorial. A war memorial. And you know what? This ain't no black memorial. This ain't no white memorial.
Right.
It is a veteran war memorial.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going to display all of the people that served and died.
Yes.
And we're going to have all their families and communities there together. And I think this is going to be the basis for us coming together. Remembering what they died for.
Yes, sir.
Remembering what they stood for.
Yes,
when they left home, they didn't have no idea they wasn't coming back.
Exactly.
Their family didn't. Well, some of them were scared to death. I can remember my mama. She took the application. She said, "Wilson, you ain't got to go." I'm looking at her. Mom. Listen, Lewis going, Chauncey going. You know, all my friends going. I'm going too. No, you're only son. You ain't got to go.
Right.
Mama, I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to get my dad to try to run. He said, "Listen, you're a man now.
Yeah.
This is between you and your mama." She was at everything I did in the military.
Yeah.
She didn't want me there, but every time I had a graduation, every time I got anything going on in the military, she was at Fort Gordon, Fort Benning, wherever I was, she was there.
Yeah.
That's the way our families supported
Yes.
us. That's the way they're going to support this project because they're going to do it for these guys, for them. And for those that have died as a result of the chemical exposures that their families never knew about. They didn't even know. And we got to keep singing this song and playing this movie. Tony, I was thinking about we need to take the film on the website, the one that we did about racism.
Right.
You know, it's been stuck on the website too long now. We got to put it out in the community.
Yeah.
And I think this week, Memorial Day, is going to be when we put that sign out where we got black veterans and white veterans talking about this racism, that we can all get along.
Yes.
We did it in the military.
Yeah.
And did it good. If we hadn't did it good, it wouldn't look like the way it look now. See, I just know we are better together.
Yes.
And as our communities come together and address these problems, we're going to do it together. You know, we're going into every community center and library with knowledge and help resources. We're going to find out where all them resources at, Tony, in Fulton County. See, that's a problem that we're having right now. Where are the resources that been allocated for veterans and seniors to help with their repairs on their homes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where is it? We want to know about it before it's all gone.
Yes.
And then we need to do something else too. There's a zigzag with tax exemption, property tax exemption all across the state of Georgia. Some counties will give it to you when you're 100%. Some counties won't. That should be uniform
Yes.
all across. And that home loan, VA home loan, we got to take the credit out of that. We got to take the credit,
the
bureau,
credit requirement,
requirement out of it, because them credit bureaus is full of it.
Yes.
They are, and the banks they full of it too, because you can get a interest rate over here that's better than it, or interest rate over here that's better than that, and that's shortchanging our benefits. We got to elect people in our government that listen to us.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna salute Michael
Yeah.
J. Barnes. He, Julian Barnes'
Julian Barnes.
son, Julian Barnes' boy, and Bowleg's boy too.
Yeah.
Marvin Anderson Jr.
Yes.
They listen to us, Tony.
Yeah.
Both of these young men listen to us. They probably say, well, they ain't gonna go away. So every time they look up, we were coming.
Yeah. The thing about that is they recognize the fact that they were elected officials to serve us.
Yes.
And so when we came to, they listened.
They listen.
They listened, and we saw the results of it.
Yeah.
They listened, and they did what they could to make it work.
Listen, they went into the legislative bodies that they represent
yes.
and represented. We got a memorial coming in from my park.
Yeah.
We got a veteran service program in Fulton County.
Yeah.
We got to grow it though. We got to get all the roaches out the way.
I know. But these are they recognize the fact that these are the things we wanted them to do, and they could do, and they did it.
Yes.
And we were all wondering and concerned as to whether, and it was not that big a problem for them. There are procedures that they had to follow that we weren't aware of, but they knew that this was something they could do.
And I can remember when Marvin Jr. told, he said, just ask me for something I can't do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we're going to come at that surplus properties that Fulton County.
Yeah.
We need to turn some of them surplus properties back into the use of the community,
Yes.
especially when they could help eliminate homelessness.
Yes.
But I'm concerned with Fort Mac not being used to deal with that. See, we need to find out why this redevelopment authority is moving so slow, and they're just concerned with money.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When they got barracks out there that they could take every homeless person off the street tomorrow. Yeah. And we got, listen, Clark College right now is ready to help with social work. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sure Mercer, I'm sure Emory, all these colleges we got with all these smart young folks, we need to start using them in the community. We're not doing that because we're not building collaborations.
Right.
We're building competition. You got us competing for our own tax dollars to come back into the community to do stuff where we need it done. Yeah. We need to have a talk. But what we're going to be doing, Bridget coming on, and what we're going to be doing, we're going to be getting ready to take over Piedmont Park sometime this year. Yeah. With a call to unity. Mm-hmm. That's going to be heard in every district in this state, in every state in this country. Because we got a history of leading when it's necessary to lead. And we need to lead now, because gun violence, listen, ain't no 13-year-old got no business being shot down on MLK.
Yeah.
And then they ain't got no business taking no gun to school. Man, don't you know, my mama or my daddy would have caught me with a gun going to school, they'd have beat me.
Okay.
Not just going to school.
Anywhere.
For me, it was touching it. You don't touch it. Yeah. I knew it was there, and I knew not to touch it. That was the law. It was one of those things where part of it was respect for my father and his authority. You know, and so, you know, I'm not going to go against that. But then I knew that was something wrong if I was being warned not to touch it.
Yes.
So I may not have understood, but I knew that because of his reaction and other family members, I wasn't supposed to touch it.
Right.
And so I didn't.
You didn't.
You just
See, and that's what's missing today. We got too many families in our community that are not balanced. And the church need to help out. You know, the church really need to help out, because we got all these veterans sitting up in the church. They're going to start volunteering in the community, but we calling them out too.
Right.
You know, I mean, we know better. We serve this country for a reason, so that we can have these freedoms, so that we can have more. We got more, but we act worse. You know, I mean, the idea of gangs in the school bothers me. I watched one of my young cousins who was in store for a great career get caught up in gang, get put out of school. Get put out of school. And I can't get him to go back because, you know, he done come up with all kind of excuses now that, you know, listen, bro, you still got a chance. He could walk on the Falcons and they get paid. That's just how good this kid is. But that breakdown in his confidence, you know, that breakdown in his discipline, it's caused us, for me, to lose some football tickets, some free football tickets. I want some of them tickets, man. You know, but it's good to watch all these kids that we got now and they're participating in sport. What the devil is mad as the success, Tony, what you talking about. Yes. The devil is mad at every time we get a graduation from Georgia, University of Georgia. Did you know how they had 8 young men went into NFL this year?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just this year.
Yeah.
That's just one school.
Yes.
Think about across the nation.
Yeah.
That's what we pledged allegiance for. That's what we serve for. That's what we need to demand every day that we get back to. Because see, the devil is trying to steal, kill, and destroy. But that's his job, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we got our job to do.
Yes.
So Brenda, you know what? Yeah, when I was thinking about the dancing, we just canceled a project that we was trying to do for Memorial Day. Val was over this project. Because it's a great idea, but she was trying to do it by herself. We regrouped. Sister Joanne is our director of programs and everything that happens with the Sons of Atlanta. We want to do this Evening Under the Stars. We're gonna do it again. And you talk about dancing. You know, I dance in the pulpit. You know.
Okay.
I dance, you know.
Okay.
I dance in the pulpit, man. So y'all forgive me. I'm just that, you know. But anyhow, we want to put together that, because this is it's going to be a fundraiser. But we see what we've done with this project and with all our projects. We have not tried to make them look like fundraisers. We want to. That's why we lobby the government to get things done, because we pay taxes. Even the homeless pay taxes. You go in the store and try to buy something, you're gonna pay taxes. You ain't gonna buy it. We need to make sure that this fundraiser is for the Sons of Atlanta, because we're doing more than building a memorial in the park. We are building a movement in our communities to take our communities back, and we got to do it with the church. That's why I'm preaching on Pentecost tomorrow. First, I want to know why are you asking me to preach on it? I want to do something else, right? But God is in charge.
Yes, He is.
We got to realize that we're guided by His hand in what we do. If we are, and what we got to do is what we know we should do. The fact that the Antichrist is here among us is a call for us to be more into the Word.
That's right.
Of God. Doing the Word of God.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what nobody think when I'm dancing in the pulpit. I'm with the Spirit. I'm letting the Spirit, make me feel good right then.
That's it.
And what this fundraiser got to be, it got to be a good feeling. It got to be a good feeling, because we're not celebrating the death.
Right.
We're celebrating their lives.
Yes.
You know, we're celebrating what they would have done, what I know Lewis would have done with his life if he had came back home.
Exactly.
You know, what all these young men would have did if they came back home. If they'd have came back to their city. I can look around in the city now and look at the contribution of some veterans and marvel. Marvel. Just marvel at them. Just, I remember when Ted was sheriff. He had problems, but one thing, he was listening. He was listening, and he was trying. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. We got these people in politics. We need to support them because see, they're on the front line when trying to get things turned around. You know, we need to be there to make sure that we're not just voting for you. We supporting you when you go into these legislative bodies and you got Margaret Taylor Greene. Oh Lord. They don't do nothing. They're not even governing anymore. They just living out of chaos and confusion and hate. That's the devil. This country think about how it grew since the 60s, Tony. I can't remember not one billionaire that I knew growing up. I can call C.D. Moody on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And Tyler Perry. I mean, we got billionaires all around us now.
Yeah.
The devil don't want that, man.
No.
Yeah.
The devil don't want that progress. And he got us with, oh, look how bad we doing. Y'all ain't come from nowhere.
Yeah.
You ain't seen nothing. If you think we doing bad, what we're doing bad when black people were being beat, lynched, and the police was putting knives and guns in the hand. John Inman, you remember John Inman? Maynard tried to find him. Maynard couldn't find him, remember? Went to court, Maynard said, okay. He rewrote his job description. See, I didn't come here from him, so I can talk about what I've seen in my life. And I know this city is better than what it is now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's better. The people are better. And we need to assert that. We need to stand up with that. And you know what? God has been using us, Tony. You know, they being concerned black clergy every month, but like some of the leaders said, it wasn't just concerned black clergy, it's concerned clergy.
Yeah.
Because some of the clergy there are concerned they're not black.
Right.
And that's a coming together. That's bringing them. That's bringing them together. And so we're gonna be talking to the church to get the church to wake up and do what they need to be doing in the community right now. See, it's more than preaching on Sunday.
Yes.
It's more than preaching on Sunday. It's more than feeding somebody in a. You know, it's more. It takes more than that right now. We got to go at the underlying causes that need for us to do that. Because see, we know that Basil and the owners of Walmart ain't paying them for what they need to be paying.
Right.
For. We know that income inequity is an issue that causes lack, that breeds crime. So we're gonna sit back and act like we don't know no better.
Right.
We need to speak truth to power.
Yeah.
Every day, not someday. That's why they retired me, ran me out from the VA. But you know, and they didn't stop me. They didn't stop me. And the truth is, I look at that and talking about getting back to the VA. Talking about the VA. We're experiencing things at the VA with the PAC Act in place now. Well, we got employees are calling, well, we're telling veterans they call and cancel their claim. Now, you know that's something crazy.
Yeah.
You know, why would a veteran that's struggling to get his claim through the VA call and cancel his claim?
Right.
See, and that's the devil. That's the working of the devil. They done infiltrated every level of government. And we need to point it out. We need to start these churches, these pastors, asking every Sunday, how are my veterans doing? Because see, less than 1% of our population ever serve in the military, but we serve for the whole nation. It's the U.S. military. We serve for the whole nation. That means that the whole nation should be concerned with it.
Yes.
How are the veterans doing? Because if the veteran ain't doing well, that means his family is not doing well.
Right.
His community is not doing well. You know, and we got to start making people understand that these benefits, that $307 billion budget for the VA this year, is not getting into my community the way it need to be.
Right.
I can see it when I walk up and down Cleveland, when I go to the stores. We're in a city right now where, on Cleveland anyway, on this side of town, if I go in the store and spend my money and I need to use the bathroom, they'll tell me ain't no bathroom in there. Try it. Go in these convenience stores. Community say, I need to use the bathroom. Oh, we ain't got no public bathroom. Well, you don't need to be in my community.
Right.
You know, city council can change that. And that's going to be an issue we're going to go after, because seniors shouldn't be had to, you know.
Yes.
Go in there.
We can't hold our urines. You know, it's not impossible. You gotta go.
You gotta go.
So we got to start identifying issues like that impact everyday life, and especially this income inequity.
Yeah.
And then these people talking about everything is high. Yeah, they high because the business is raising their prices.
Right.
And they don't have enough people in government to check them. We couldn't even get a minimum wage in the state of Georgia that's over, what, 735? Some crazy stuff.
Some are still 7, I believe.
Lord help us.
How can you live off of $7 an hour?
Nobody can. Not in this economy.
No.
I'm watching my grandchildren and people I know, they spend $500 an hour on hairdos. I mean, you know. I mean, so how can, you know, but they done perpetuate this market for them. They got it out there, and you know they should enjoy it. But how you gonna enjoy it when you working at McDonald's for $12 an hour?
Right.
You can't even rent an apartment. I can remember the first apartment I rented was out there, 7 Coats out there. It used to be on Gordon Road. This
Right.
They was $300-something a month. I bet you now you go out there $1,500.
Or more.
Or more. And we don't want to talk about it.
That's nothing. The first apartment I rented back in 1964, 65, when I graduated from high school. $200 a month, including utilities. And it was in Buckhead.
No, now you up in Buckhead?
Yeah.
Ooh, buddy.
Now it's $200,000. Okay.
$200 a month. You know, it's now where Oglethorpe College is. They, you know, Oglethorpe College took over that space and everything. And those apartments became part of their campus and everything.
Yeah, because my daughter was up there paying $2,500 a month for one bedroom.
One bedroom.
Yeah. Yes.
I said, "What you doing over there?" What you doing, girl? What you doing over there, Finn? I said, "Okay, I ain't gonna ask that question because I know that the marketers done got you."
Yes, sir. Yes.
But it's okay. They should be able to do that. Listen, these billionaires got homes in 4 or 5 different states.
Yeah.
And some of them got homes, in the cities and,
And overseas.
And overseas,
not even.
And they don't want to pay no taxes. They don't pay the taxes that a school teacher had to pay.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's ugly when your school teacher now, a person that you hold responsible for teaching your children, is underpaid.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Underpaid. So that means you're not getting the best. I'm not talking about my niece now. My nieces and my nephews are educators, so I don't want them to think I'm talking about you're not because I think they're the best. But you're not gonna get the best throughout the system if you're not paying them.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, they get the best, but they don't pay the mate to keep them.
To keep the best.
They got to bring that salary up so those best teachers can continue to teach.
Yeah.
And therein is part of the problem.
That's a major part of the problem.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a major part of the problem, and we need to address it.
Yes.
Right.
This is not a conversation that we should be just having on Veterans Talk. This should be kitchen table conversation.
Exactly.
Right.
No, it should be legislative conversation.
Well, we got to get people that will go do what we do to them. Ain't many people gonna chase Rob Pitts. And he see us coming, then he stop. He say, "Go anyway."
Here they come again. Yeah.
Let's have a picture with him. Okay, Rob, I know what you're talking about. We try to keep it light because we got to keep it respectful,
right,
and not fall into the toxic, vulgar language because the tongue can speak life and death.
And not only that results in closed ears.
Yes.
Because they'll choose not to hear what we have to say when we're trying to make a point. And so we got to make the point in a way that they would at least listen. Whether they will respond or not, at least they listen to us.
And it'll give them something to think about.
Yeah.
Because, I talk with a lot of young men, because all my nephews are, I got 8 nephews and 5 nieces from my 4 sisters. And I'm close to all of them. So I get a chance to interact with them and some of their friends. I'm so sad to say that some of our young men are buying into that ad.
Mm-hmm.
They're buying into that ad that the Biden administration ain't did nothing because they don't know nothing about the PAC Act. They ain't started.
Yeah.
They don't know nothing about broadband because they ain't stopped to think about it. Wasn't no broadband under Trump.
No.
And Biden can't control the inflation.
No.
Exactly.
The government could control it if they had enough people in government that wasn't bought off by lobbyists.
Mm-hmm.
The lobbyists listen. NRA is one of the strongest lobbying crew in the country, and you see how corrupt they are.
Oh yes.
You see how corrupt they are. But we got Brian Kemp. He'd come on with a gun and
Right.
Yes.
And then he make these laws that put guns in the hands of these kids that don't even know how to fight. So they pull in the gun when the first hostility and disagreement come up. They just start shooting.
Yep.
We need to get control of this because we can.
Yeah.
See, somebody got there. Well, we can't do nothing about it. All things are possible.
Yes.
In grace, all things
All
are possible.
things.
And we got to stop this unbelief. We cannot represent those that paid the ultimate price if we stick to unbelief. We can't. These young men rushed in the battle. I give my life. And we're going to stand back and say, and then we can do about the issues in their communities. Mm-hmm. No, we can make a difference if we start doing this, having these conversations, building collaboration, in spite of they trying to cause us to hate each other. They demonizing the immigrants now. They used to demonize us. Though.
Right. Okay.
so this is nothing new, but we quiet. You're too quiet about it.
Right.
We should be embracing those folks. Unashamedly. But some of us don't want to be seen with them because they say they're drug cartels. All them folks ain't no drug cartels.
No.
Listen, most of them people are good, law-abiding citizens. They came to this country because they heard about the opportunities that we got in this country. That's why they came.
Yeah.
And we done grown so much. We need them.
Yes.
The economy needs them.
Yes.
And the thing about that is they're bringing skill. They aren't unskilled workers that we've got to skill. They're coming with skills, exceptional skills. And if you ask anybody who has hired anybody from south of the border, probably, they do exceptional work.
Yes.
Yes.
And not
and
just
all
that.
they want is a chance.
And out of Haiti too.
Yes.
I don't care how much they try to just project Haiti as a chaos community. Yeah, it got its problems. But so have America. We got to recognize that that's where we going if we don't stop what these people are trying to do.
Yeah.
We gonna the guy that they want to be president ain't nothing but a mafia leader. He's a gang banger.
Nope.
Just look at it. A bully.
Yes.
That hides behind everybody else. That's what bullies do. We ain't here to talk about him. I'm here to talk about what we can do.
Right.
And building a beloved community.
Right.
And we need to believe that we can build that beloved community because he showed us the most powerful tool we got as a people. We stopped cooperating with him. Listen, they didn't want us on the bus.
Yeah.
So nobody rode the bus. The bus company went out of business. We got to stop cooperating with the abusers.
Right.
I can't just lay that out. He gave his life to show us that. That all we got to do, if we don't want to ride our back, stand up.
Yeah.
Just stand up. You can't ride on the back if you're standing up.
You can't ride the back of a standing man.
And I'm going to tell you something. The banks need to be really addressed. With the fees that they charge, with the way they handle your money, it's pathetic.
You almost wish for the days of Maynard Jackson when he was having trouble with the banks. They refused to lower their rates, and he took the city, take your money out of those banks. And guess what they did?
They lowered the rates.
They brought those rates down. And
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. See, we done had plenty of examples of what we can do. That's what Atlanta made.
And it worked.
It worked. And then not just that, when he started talking about these companies, you know, you get these contracts, you ain't gonna get, you're gonna have at least 3%.
Right.
At least.
Yes.
You know, so that gave us that economic, that's what made Russell, that's what made Moody. You know, and we need to, and that's what made, see, a lot of people think Jose just was just I love Jose.
Yes.
Man, my hero. But Jose was a chemist.
Yeah.
That started William Chemicals. It's a multi-million-dollar company. A lot of people don't even know that. You know, a lot of people don't even know. They just think Jose was a civil rights leader that got drunk all the time. That's what they want to look at.
Right.
You know, that's what they want to look at. But you're missing the brilliancy of this brother.
Yes.
And missing the contribution that he made. Look at what Jose Help does now. In his name.
Yes.
In his name. That family has carried on his legacy.
Yes.
That's what we want all our children to do. See, what happened, we done got our children so confused because they watching us. And they seeing us being compromised. So they're losing respect for us.
Yeah.
They think that they navigating their own way. They don't know from which they come. The sacrifices that have been made that gives them the opportunities that they got today to just flourish. My sister Shirley had 5 children, same little that my mom had. All of them got college degrees. 2 of them doctors. Why? Because she pushed it every day when they was in school. She'd go to school with them. I wouldn't want mama to come to school with me. I would have been a doctor too. Because of the see, love means you discipline and you guide.
Yes.
You know, it don't mean that you let your child run around and hit you back, and you playing with them and not letting them understand the world that they are growing up in. That they have a place in this world. They're going to grow up to have a responsibility in our communities. But we're not teaching them that now. Our children are caught up. Listen, I got some of the cutest little great-grandbabies you want to see, man. And they just got my heart. But what bothers me, they got tablets and they can't.
Yes.
Walk around with tablets. The tablets is not going to teach them what they need to know. I mean, I'm glad that they can have these things, but you take their tablets away from them and make them listen to you, make them learn, let them understand that they can't have everything they want.
Right.
You know, the folly of children need to be raised up. You know, they come in with folly. They're going to exist in folly if we don't teach them better. You know, we can play with our children. I play with my children. But, you know, there's a point that I just got out the way and let the mama whoop them because I wasn't going to do it. You know, I wasn't going to do it. I tell the truth. I couldn't stand to see them cry. You know, because I got so many whoopings. I got a whooping if I left the yard. You know, mama say, don't leave this yard, Elson. She go in the house and lay down. My sisters ain't paying me no attention. They don't want to be bothered with me now. So I'm up the street. Looked like she was faking. She was laying down. Here she come up the street with the rollers of her hair and the belt in her hand. Didn't I tell you not to leave this yard? Discipline of our children, giving them limits is critical.
Yes.
Critical.
Yes.
You know, right now we got another issue that bothers me. Our children are committing suicide.
Yeah.
Our children are being traumatized before they go to school. See, I had to learn what PTSD was by going to war, you know, being wounded in combat. And, you know, the reactions that I had after being wounded and not understanding what was going on with me, it cost me and my family a lot. We looking at these children in our community now being traumatized. That's why we having so many problems with our young boys, our young men. They're being traumatized by domestic violence.
Yes.
And rather than the school recognizing this and putting the resources there to counsel that in a way that that child can grow and learn, they're not putting the resources there. You know, so we got a lot of work to do, Tony.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, Brent, we got a lot of work to do, and I'm so excited about you. I'm gonna tell you that, and I'm excited.
I'm excited myself.
You know, but see, this would happen when you start reaching out to families of veterans.
Yes.
Because listen, every other family in our community got a veteran in it.
Mm-hmm.
Every other family. That's just the way Atlanta is. We grew up like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the thing about it, we're not recognizing the true value of that either, Tony. You know, if we start recognizing the true value of our young men going into the military. I remember when Freeman was getting ready to go into the military, my daughter called me, Daddy, you need to talk with Freeman. I said, what about? He want to go in the military. Eyes got that big. I said, you want to go in the military? I said, then you don't want me to talk to him. I'm going to tell him to go in the military.
Yes.
The opportunities for this young man's growth.
Yes.
He came to me, he said, Papa, I'm going to go and go. I don't want Mama paying for my school. She was a single parent. She couldn't pay for his school.
Right.
This boy recognized that and said, I'm going to go get me to school. Man, this boy is exciting. Got another grandson. He ain't in school. He's in the school he is in the street school. Mm-hmm. And every time the phone rang, I feel that somebody's calling me to say that my grandson has been killed or he's killed somebody. We got to be able to recognize where we're at in our communities, what we're doing with the issues that we got in our community. We don't need somebody to come in on a white horse to save us. We can save ourselves if we stop believing the lies and the deceptions and the misinformation that we're getting, but we feeding it to our children.
Yes.
We letting them have it. You know, I mean, my little 3-year-old ain't got no business with no computer in her hand all the time. So coming down, the thing look bigger than she look. You know? But here she come with it. You know, then you know, it's just amazing, and it makes them more material too. Because they see all these things in these commercials, so they want them. And mama trying to get them, you know, even though they can't pay rent.
Right.
You know, but they trying to get the child. I'm going to get my child. Well, I understand that you want to do that, but you ain't able to do that.
Right.
That's why you keep coming to me for my money. But no, I'm going to give it to them anyway. But the thing about it, we need to take charge of our community. And the way to take charge of it, first of all, is to start having a dialogue about the problem that we get and stop running off from each other when we disagree.
And not only should we have a dialogue, we should have a possible solution.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when we come with a problem, we don't have the solution, a possible solution.
No suggestions.
Yeah.
We just be hollering, complaining.
Right.
See, that's why these folks get tired of me and Tony. Because we go to them, we done analyze the problem, we go to them with a solution.
Right.
You know, when we went to Marvin Aaron, he negotiated us too. Because see, at first, oh wow, man, we did that.
You're good. Keep going, you got it. And
listen, we got to recognize that we only got short time here, just an hour. But we got a blessing today.
Yes.
Because see, we finna work together.
Yes,
we finna work together because this is our community. We're gonna help each other build. Tony, we're gonna find out when they're gonna issue that RFP, so we can get it back into the community. Not let it wait till the last minute so the people that got all these grant writers get the money.
Right.
Yeah. See, that's what been happening with that money. I'm gonna just tell you.
That's what happened.
That's what happened to the money.
Especially the past 2 years.
And I mean, without just charging them, and Tony report been saying it, letting Marvin Adams Jr. know, hey, listen, man, we got some problems on this committee that we need to address, and they're fundamental organization problems because it's not allowed to do what y'all legislated it for.
Yeah.
Right.
And we got to keep that going, Tony.
Yeah.
Next week, Britton, you come back anytime you want to.
I sure will.
But please come back. But we're gonna be communicating now this week.
Okay.
With some stuff that we're doing, and we need your help. We need your involvement because see, we want you to go tell the angels what we're doing.
Okay.
We got to take our community back. We love our city. We love our people, and we're gonna pour the love of God out on all of this stuff.
Okay.
See, we're not gonna let hate rule.
Exactly.
We're not gonna let it rule because it's causing some major damages.
It is.
Yeah. So thank you. Kenny is always here. Tony, thank you, brother. I mean, I went to Macon today, and I got a rude awakening with it. So I came back fired up. I mean, really fired up because I'm seeing stuff we talk about, that we communicate about, and that's why it's so important that we have dialogue, and that we start having these. We're gonna have another town hall meeting soon, where we're gonna reach back out to these elected officials and city council. Because see, Hatesville, East Point, College Park, all of them, they need to wake up because we're going to bring them together whether they want to come together or not. Because we are all the same people.
Right.
And we're all suffering some of the same issues. And we got people standing there talking about, well, you need to put more guns. You want to put guns in school. You want the school teacher to have guns. No, I don't. Okay, next week. Next week, y'all. Tony closes.
Yeah, real quickly, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram. We'll see you next week, same time, 4 o'clock, right here.
And shares. You can share us with your community.
Yeah.
Shares. Thank you. So, Brady, where are you located?
Covington.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what I got where our chaplain is in Covington, Reverend Jefferson. So he's working out there now.